This is going to be the greatest, if not one of the greatest videos I've ever done on this channel. There's a lot of knowledge, insight, wisdom in what I'm about to say. And there's a lot of understandings that you guys have to understand. Like, very, very much so. When it comes to this season of isolation, it is not a season to be looked at as like the torture chamber. Like, you have to embrace it, you have to go through it, you have to live it in order to understand that it's nothing short of a blessing. And it's not going to feel that way at first. It's going to feel like everything's out of place, everything's out of whack, everything's out of line, what is going on, I feel like I'm going crazy, etc., etc., etc. You're getting rid of the old completely. That's what's happening in the first place. So the new can come in. Because if you're back there with the old, nothing new can come in. Like, you have to live a totally different life. It's basically like a part of you is dying, and it's like a rebirth. And that's really who you are. You're like a phoenix that like sheds its ashes and comes back. So you have to be wary of this. You have to understand this for what it is. Because if you don't, you're going to have questions. You're going to be going crazy. You're going to think. You might block your blessings. You might completely demolish what's about to come. Because you're so afraid of what was. And you have to make that right. No, you're not going to make that right at all. You got to get rid of that shit. You got to get rid of old people. You got to get rid of all those things to continue on your path and purpose and journey. There's nothing better than that. There's nothing better than feeling exactly how you're supposed to feel, being the human being you're supposed to be, and watching everything else for everyone else fall apart. Now that's not something you want to see, but you're going to see it. And that's not something you want for others, but you're going to see it. Because they are making too many mistakes. They are doing things they shouldn't be doing while you're doing things you should be doing. That's the difference. How many people is really living like this today? How many people is really doing what it takes to become the man or woman they're supposed to be? Not that many. I had a conversation with a friend about this yesterday. Not that many. And this is what it requires. Your isolation season. You going through things alone. No one else is going to be there. It's your solo journey. It's just you. And it don't mean you don't ever see another human being. It don't mean you never talk to another human being, but you have a lot of time to yourself. You have a lot of time to work on things you want to work on. You're not held down by some stingy wife. You're not held down by nobody. You're not codependent with family or friends or anything. Like, you do things at a completely different level. This is the isolation season. It's going to do nothing but bless you. It's going to do nothing but bless your life. And if you don't go through it, say goodbye. Bye. Everything it could have been, I want you guys to say bye-bye. Because it ain't going to be. You got to go through it. You can't shy away from it. You can't always be on the edge. I want to go back to the old times. I want to see these people. I want these friends. I want this. No. You don't want any of that. They're going to have to come to you on your terms. Because you're living a totally different life. You're not always going back to their comfort shit. You're not always going back to fit into what they're doing. They can, you know what, if they really want to be a part of your life, they can come and see what you're doing for once. They can come in and fit into your life for once. Why is it always you having to go backwards? Having to go backwards? Why is it always this? Why is it always you feeding everyone? Why? You're different. You are different. You're not put on earth to just feed every person alive. Like, that's not what you're put on earth to do. You have to feed yourself before you feed anybody else. And are they going to feed you? Are they going to come into your life? Are they going to see what you're doing? Can they fit onto what you're doing? No. So why do you do it so much for them? It's only hurting you more. It only hurts you more to go backwards. They just love it. They love it. Because you go down to their level. That's what they love. But you don't love it. Every time you do it, it's another mistake. And you come back to your own life and it's like, things are weird now. Things don't feel as good as they did. How many times are you going to do this dumb shit to realize, you know what? I am different. And this shit don't make me happy. It just takes me back. It just gets me further away from my real blessings and my real identity. Why can't they come into my life for once? If they want to see me, no excuses. Come see me. But I ain't going to be a certain way for you. You're going to have to see what I'm doing. You're going to have to see who I am. You're going to have to talk to me. So, you guys understand what I'm saying? People always want you to go back. People always want you to fit into their shit. They don't want to have the conversation the way you want to have a conversation. They want you to go down. They want you to talk the way they want you to talk, not the way you want to talk. This is a problem for you. It's a problem. And you can do it sometimes, but that's all they want you to do. That is a problem. They can never give you respect. They can never come into your world and give you respect and make you feel good about who you are. All they want you to do is make them feel good about make them feel good about who they are. They never want to make you feel good about who you are. It's always you diminishing yourself for them. You guys get this? And the more you're on your journey of becoming who you are, the more messed up everything else is going to start to look to you. People get more exposed as the days go by. You start to see even more clearly as the days go by. And that's the way it works. You're forever changing and they're just not. It's going to come a point where you can no longer even be around them, bro. They just can't take it. But human beings that understand growth are going to accept it. They're going to accept you, and these are the people that's actually tolerable to be around. Not the ones who just want to talk to you a certain way and that's how it is, and no. I ain't doing this with you all the time. I ain't going back all the time. No. I'm moving further and further and further and further and further into what God has created me to be. A lot of people in today's day and age, bro, they don't want that for you. Most people don't. Most people don't. In fact, the better you continue to come, it scares them even more. These are people you just don't belong around. It doesn't automatically make them a bad person. It's just people you don't belong around. Your destiny is different than theirs. That's all it is. That's literally all it is. And these types of individuals can give you some flack and some shit sometimes because they just don't understand. Sometimes they're not even bad people. They just don't understand. And that's what it comes down to. Like, if people don't want to understand you, cut them. Why else? They don't want to talk to you about real anything. Real nothing. They just want you to go back. They just want you to act a certain way to make them feel good. They don't ever want to make you feel good. Never. They don't ever want to talk about your life and how things are going for you and things of this nature and et cetera, et cetera. You just have to be a certain way to give them some fun, some entertainment, lighten up their day. But it doesn't lighten up yours. It only makes yours darker. How many times are you going to do this for these people to understand that when you do this and then you leave, you're back to your own life and your own reality again, and it didn't do anything for you. It only made yours worse. Why? Because it took you back. You keep feeding people who expect you to feed them. That's what you're doing. They expect you to be that way for them. They expect you to give them a good time. They expect you to entertain them. They expect it. And what happens when you stop doing it? It's a problem. But are they going to come into your life? Are they going to want to have a conversation with you? You see what I mean? Some people don't like you just because you don't fit into what they want you to fit into. But they can't come and talk to you like who you actually are. They can't do that. Because it makes them feel a certain way. Well, how do you think it makes us feel? Yeah. That's why you live your life and we can live our life. How about that? It's the lack of understanding, bro. It is the lack of understanding. It's a lack of awareness. It's overly selfishness on their end. Like, bro, if they could really come into our lives and like, you know, be a good person to us, make us feel good sometimes, we could easily do it for them. But it's so one-sided, it's not even funny. You got to get rid of this one-sided type shit. I know I have. You got to get rid of it. They only want you to fit into their life, into their world. They're the same people who will call you selfish. They're the same people who will call you this and call you that. But when have they ever come into your world? Never. You can go into anyone's world. I'm willing to go into somebody else's world to make them feel good. Bro, let's say I get this girlfriend. I can go to her home, to her parents' house, talk to her parents. I've done it many, many times. I can go into other people's worlds, but can they come into yours? The answer for most people is no, they can't. No, they can't. And you know why? It's because you're chosen. You're different. The way you move, the way you think is different. Not a lot of people can come into your world. That's how intense it is. That's how meaningful it is. That's how powerful and magical it is. They just can't. You can easily go into anybody else's world, but the more you do, the more you're away from your own. And the more it steers you off your own path and purpose. Do you understand? We feel more alive going down our own path and purpose and journey. Like, bro, if we were living in the olden times, it's like, look at it like this. Let's say we're all digging these mud paths and mud trails to get to a certain point, right? We're all digging our own. You're far, 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 far ahead of everybody else because that's how hard you work. You're looking way back at everybody else, and you know what they want you to do? They want you to come way, 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 way back to help them dig theirs because they can't dig hard or fast enough. That's what it's like. And they will never come into your mud path to help you dig for 1.2 seconds. But they expect you to go back to theirs and dig theirs. You might as well just throw everyone else on your back and just carry everyone like a backpack. But you know what? You can't do that because the shit's too heavy. It's far too heavy. So no. And how many times have you done this? 2 minute account. That's what I'm saying. You can easily fit into somebody else's life. You can easily go into somebody else's life. Like me, myself, I'm not a shy person. I can talk to anybody. I can go into anywhere. I can do anything. I can talk to anybody. But they can't do that with you. They can't talk about what you want to talk about. People feel real uncomfortable. It's because of your level. It's because of your level. It's because of how far ahead you are. It's because of your elite status. It's not a regular life. It is different. It's much different. Bro, people feel the nerves. People feel the anxiousness coming around you. When it's talk about going to your house, when it's talk about meeting up with you, when it's talk about any of these types of things, people feel on edge. Like, oh my God, we're meeting up with him. We're doing this with him. Oh my God, he's here. People see you walk in the door and it's like a big gust of wind just come in. It's because your energy is different. You're not like everybody else. It's just simply different. It's because of the way you lived your life. Much different than everybody else. You focused so much more than everybody else around you. And there's people all over the world that are like this, scattered all over the world, who have had that level of focus. There's just not many. That's why I'm saying, from the people just around you, you're much different. From the people in your community in general, you're much different. You walk different, you talk different, you think different, you do things different, you've worked different. Everything is different. That's why nobody can come into your life. When it's time to show up to come to you, nobody can do it. It's because of who you are. It's because of who you've become. But are you going to slow down your life and slow your roll just to make ungrateful people happy? You guys understand the way I live my life, like in the far, far past, like 10 plus years ago? Literally 10 plus years ago? I was going into everybody else's life all the time. Like, it's actually crazy to realize this. That's all my life used to be. I didn't have my own personal life. It was all about me being friends with this person, do what they want to do, go with them, let's do these things, but you never saw it like that before. Like, the way I see it now is not the way I used to see it. Now I see it for what it is, and not just now, but for a long time, like ever since I was like 18, 19, thank God. But that's the way it used to be. Even with the girl in the past, it's like, everything's on her time. Everything is the way she wants it to be. Everything is this, everything is that. Like the odd time, bro, I remember, she tried to come to the gym with me, and she nearly took a heart attack. That's what I'm saying, bro. People come into your life, into your path, into your existence. It's too fast. It's like too much. It's too much energy. It's too much pressure. It's too much everything. You're built for this. Not everybody else is. It's going to take a special kind of person to walk by a chosen one side. It's going to take a special kind of person. No word of a lie. It is. Like, they're going to have to be switched on. They're going to have to be awake. Things are going to have to be a certain way. I'm telling you, bro. We can easily do anything else anyone's doing because it's so fucking easy. It's nothing. It is nothing. But when they come into your world, oh my God, it's something. It's something else. It's something different. Pack a lunch, brother. Pack a lunch. This is what you have to understand. And every time you try to live at the pace of somebody else, doing and thinking the way they think, and all this type of bullshit, you're just like, it's like, bro, some of you want to fit in. Some of you want these things. Some of you want to be attached to people, and that's codependency, bro. Well, what are you doing? That's codependency. You want that. You're striving for that. That's codependency. What are you doing? There's nothing chosen about that. You have to see your own life for what it is. You have a higher purpose in this world. And people are going to have to fit into your world. Not you fitting into someone else's world who is doing nothing. You have a greater purpose. You are chosen. You are here for something. And from time to time, you can do something they want to do. Perfect. It's not like it's just everything just the way you want to be. No, we can do things they want sometimes and other things like this, but it's like your life is the forefront, if anything. Because you're the one with the big purpose. I mean, someone's purpose has to be bigger than the others. And it don't mean they can't even have purpose of their own, but it's like, you get what I'm saying. That's just what it is. No, we ain't gonna follow them. they're not worth following. No, we ain't gonna do what they want us to do all the time. Now we don't have a life of our own. That's what it comes down to. And I'm telling you guys now, that's all I used to do. And it's like, it took me losing everything I've ever had to realize the talent I had and what I'm about to do with it. I've never been the same since. But this is who I really am. And people are going to tell you you changed and all this, and I'm actually who I'm supposed to be now. The person I used to be, that's who everybody else wanted me to be to benefit them. It did nothing for me. It did everything for everyone else and nothing for you at all. And if you live in your purpose, you're going to do far more for more people in the world than the few little people in your community that you're friends with, your little girlfriend, your little this, your little that. You're doing, like, all you're doing is being a servant to absolutely nobody who don't even appreciate you. What happens when you lose that girl? You did everything right. You lose it. What happens when you lose all your fake friends? You lived for nothing. That's what I'm saying. This is why it's important to embrace the isolation season of leveling up and becoming the man or woman you're actually supposed to be. That's what this shit is, bro. Some people can't wake up to this. There's guys right now in their late teens, early 20s, mid 20s, in these little relationships, etc. They don't have a purpose. They don't have a purpose. And what happens when that little relationship they have dwindles away and it meant nothing? All this wasted time. You might want to waste time as young and early as possible, if anything. Because you don't want to live, like, bro, some of these people, they're going to live lives into their mid-20s, into their 30s, into their 40s, wasting all that time. Like, all of it gone. My time got wasted in my teens. I woke up also in my teens. That's how fast I woke up. That's how fast I realized what is. It took me getting backstabbed. It took me being abandoned to realize what needed to be done. And it stung at first. It hurt at first. And all of a sudden, you become the man you're really supposed to be. And that takes time, but you keep it moving. You keep it trucking. You're digging, you're in the trenches, you're shoveling. Far past everyone else. While everyone else is sleeping, while everyone else is being a degenerate, you're just still going. That's all you do. Because you're getting somewhere. They're getting nowhere. They're not even going to finish. You're going to finish all right. You're going to exceed expectations. You're going to blow minds. This is why this shit is important. Like, think about it. Every time you do something that somebody else wants you to do, just think about it. Is this really the right move? Before you do everything, think to yourself, is this really the right move? How many people want to do the things that you want to do? Everybody else wants you to go get drunk, go get crunk, go get this, go get that. Everybody wants you to do degenerate things, but how many people want to do things you want to do? How many? Not many. None at all. Because they don't want to get embarrassed. They don't want you to shine. They want to bring your light down. They don't want it to get any brighter. And your light's going to get so bright, they don't even want to see you no more. They don't even want to respond to you no more. And that's what I'm saying, bro. Life moves on. Life moves on. And by the way, I'm not even saying you can't have a drink, but it's like, you can't live for the weekend. You can't live for partying and all this stuff. Bro, I had one beer this entire year. One. Like, I don't even, if I do have a drink of alcohol, I like it. But I hate the next day because I don't feel as sharp. I don't feel as focused. I don't really feel as good as I could. That's why I do it so little. Because it's not good. Like, it takes you back. Ask yourself, do you deserve all this celebration? Like, that's what you have to ask yourself. Do you deserve all these things? Do you deserve to do these things this much? Probably not. Like, probably not. Some people think they work hard. Some people think they do those things, bro. Oh my God. Unbelievable. Some people don't deserve to party for the next 5 years because of how much they did. Yeah, you have a lot of work to do. You have a lot of work to do. And it's only going to get worse for you if you don't do the things you're supposed to do. Like, the last 10 years of my life has been nothing short of a grind. Like, absolutely next level. I'm so accustomed to it. I'm so used to it. It feels weird to celebrate. It feels weird to party. It feels weird to do anything off track. It don't even feel right. And like, it's the opposite for me and a lot of people, because it's like, they don't feel right if they don't go and do something to left field to damage and ruin themselves. It's like they feel like they have to. Oh my God, I'm doing all this work and I have to do this. That's it. Me and you are the opposite. Not the same. People's looking for an excuse to do crazy shit. That's going to set you back. That's what the degenerate society is about. It's about excuses to ruin yourself. Like, no one thinks that way, but it's what it is. People look for an excuse to go and celebrate on Friday or Saturday because it's Saturday. You just can't let the week go by and just stay sharp, can you? You just can't. There's something in you that has to damage yourself. That's no. That's not going to get you anywhere. You have to celebrate so little to the point when you do celebrate, when you do have one beer, when you do have a drink, it literally affects you in no way the next day because you're that clean. But if you're not that clean, the less clean you are, the more you can't do that shit. Because it's only setting you back further and further and further. That's what I'm saying. There's a lot of realizations that people have to go through, and bro, like, I lived just about as sharp of a life and as precise and as disciplined as it gets. Like, pretty much. Like, I know things that a lot of people don't even catch. And you will never catch it if you've never had my level of discipline. You'll never understand things the way I understand them if you've never had my level of discipline without doing things for years, with just staying so precise and like perfect. Because you want to win so bad. It's like a long-term game. You have, like, that's the things you have to live through. You have to go through. But people just don't want to do it. That's the isolation season you must go through. You must be a beast. You must go all out. Because you have a purpose. You have to know it deeply. You have to know it as deeply as I know it. That's how deeply you have to know it. The excuses, the things that you tell yourself have to come to an end. This is what it's going to be. This is my life. I am a warrior. I'm going to go all out. That's what this is. The isolation season is a blessing in disguise. And the reason it's in disguise is because you have no idea the blessings are coming if you just stay grounded and do what you're supposed to do.